Now, I said there was loads of big names here, and there's one next to me that is sweating for fun. We're delighted to be joined by a former Liverpool and Leeds, it says here forward, I'm going to use the word legend. Harry Kewell is with us. Harry, usually I shake the hands of our
you want a hug?
I don't want a hug.
You sure?
Shake his hand, man.
This is like, you know, work.
Oh, my God, you're disgusting.
You know, I do sweat a lot when I work.
How are you?
I'm okay.
How lovely to see you.
Thank you for having me.
I was going to say, what's it like out there? But your answer's going to be tough.
I think it's the heat. I'm used to playing in the rain.
Yeah.
So now it's nice and hot, so running around. But no, it's great to be here. It's great to put the boots back on, and it's all for a good cause, so I'm happy.
When was the last time the boots were on?
Oh, about last year when I was coaching.
Okay.
Yeah, that was about it, but it wasn't no running around.
No.
It was only dictating.
Have you still got it? I mean, I'm told you never lose it.
Yeah, you do lose it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Now, lefties never lose it.
Well, you don't lose the sharpness. Right. You don't lose the sharpness, but you lose all the other kind of feel, movement pattern, speed, power, because that's all I was, power and speed. So running out there, I've got other people catching me now.
Yeah.
Do you know what feels right though, looking at Harry Kewell's Preds on? Because that was your boot when you obviously, of course, that was your boot, and seeing you back with them on your feet. That's what I said.
A lot of them went for the F50, and I was like, man, are you ballers? Or like F50s? I said, put ballers on. This is Preds.
Yeah.
You have to wear
Preds,
you
right?
Have to.
They look the part. You look the part as well. Listen, let's talk about you and your former teams, if that's okay. Let's talk about Liverpool. How surprised were you that they did exceptionally well last season? The first season, of course, Arne Slot was there.
I wasn't surprised, especially from the start they had. I thought they were excellent from the get-go. The way that they attacked teams, the way that they were dominating. I mean, very rarely you saw the opposition in the Liverpool half. You know, so they got off to a fantastic start. You know, you're always going to have a slip some period in the season. Lucky enough, they had wrapped it up by the time when they kind of. You don't want to say they took the foot off the pedal, but it kind of looked like that. But the job was done. So, you know, it was fantastic for Arne Slot to have come into a great team. You know, what Klopp left them was exceptional. And he just put a little bit of his twist and a little bit of sprinkled dust here and there, and it's just made them perfect.
When you look at Liverpool, and you're right, they were fantastic under Arne Slot. And then I think Alex Ferguson famously said, you always strengthen when you're on top. It looks like they're going to add Wirtz for 100 million. Does that make them favourites for you, in your opinion, going into next season?
I would love to say yes, but I just can't see it being like that next year. I just think all the other teams are they can't be as bad as they were. You know, like, even though Arsenal drew a lot of games, they just fell away. Man City, you know, you don't expect them to do that again. Look, I think Chelsea have got a great team. I think they can be up there. Newcastle have got a great team. So I don't think anyone's going to run away with it. I think it's going to be exciting. But adding top players to the squad is going to help.
It's such a high bar he's set himself, isn't it, in the first season, to come in and win the Premier League. It's almost like next season that won't be enough. It needs to be that and one other, Champions League, FA Cup, whatever. It's tough, right?
Yeah, it is, but when you've got the squad, when you've got the passion, what you see the players have, they're going to give themselves all the confidence. You know, they're the champions. You're going to go out there and you're going to perform, and there is going to be added pressure. And yes, you're right, they're going to want more. You know, people are not just happy now with one title or one trophy. They want more.
Let me ask you, there was, of course, a few players that looked like they might have been leaving. Mohamed Salah was one of them. Virgil van Dijk's contract had to be renegotiated. And, of course, Trent left. Out of those three, who do you think it was most important that Liverpool kept for this season that's coming up?
Van Dijk.
Yeah,
100%.
Because of what he gives the other players in the back four, or just because he's such a great player?
One, because he's a great player. Two, because what he gives to his back four. Three, because what he gives to Liverpool. And four, he scares the living daylights out of all the other strikers. I'm sorry. Look, the way he commands, the way he positions himself, the way he talks, he's constantly talking. He's just a threat. You know, very rarely you get them. You know, and they come once in a while. And I always remember Neil Lennon saying that when he was up at Celtic, you know, he saw him train for the first couple of times, and he just turned and said he's a Rolls Royce. And Rolls Royce never go out of date. So he'll always be there.
Got to ask you about another one of your former sides, Leeds, back in the Premier League now. I mean, you must be delighted about that.
Fantastic. It's I was just saying there to Maisie out there, it's like unbelievable like that they're back, because Leeds is such a huge city, and there's only one team, so everyone supports it, so they get that support, and it's just fantastic what Daniel's done, and hopefully they can get it right this time. It's going to be tough, you know, because the Premier League is the toughest league, and hopefully they can get it done this time.
Let me ask you about the Leeds manager, because Daniel Farke's under a bit of pressure, right? It is a big ask, not just to get out of the Championship, but to stay up in the Premier League. Question marks as to whether or not he'll be there, maybe from the beginning, maybe throughout the Premier League season. Why are you shaking your head?
It just amazes me. Like, amazes me how people just sit there and they don't allow him to. Look, I know he's been unlucky on one or two, but he's got a proper team. He's got a proper club. Just give him the opportunity. Like, he can do it. He's proven it. I know people say, oh, no, he can't do it in the Premier League and all that. But I just don't understand. I really don't. I don't even get the Ange sacking. I don't get it.
Do you not?
No.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. And it's interesting because I was going to ask you what you thought of Ange Postecoglou, because his style of football would be interesting at Ellen Road. But why do you say that you're surprised? Because, and I sort of agree with you. I'm a little bit split on it because their league form was absolutely appalling, the worst they've ever had in the Premier League. Yet at the same time, they won a European trophy for the first time, since 1984, and the first trophy they've won since 2008. So he's ticked one box, but the other one has been horrific. Why are you surprised that he got sacked?
Because I don't think people realise how difficult it is to perform in the Premier League and win a European Cup competition. And I think people forget as well, when we won 2005 Champions League, our league form was terrible. Like, we didn't drop as low as 17th, but we were like going out there, we were playing Juventus or other great teams in Europe and dominating them. And then on the Saturday or the Sunday, we just weren't clicking. And it takes a special team. It takes a big squad, and that's why you very rarely see teams win the Premier League and the Champions League, because it's near enough impossible to do. So the fact that he had an horrific season with injuries, right? He had to kind of dominate which tournament that he wanted to win. And yes, the way that Spurs were dropping in the Premier League, and don't get me wrong, you don't want to finish 17th in the league, but the way that you see him perform in Europe, he won him a title and he delivered. Like I said, he won a trophy in his second year, and that's what he's been saying, and that's what he did, and it takes time.
Do you think it's one of those where he's earned the right to go into, certainly managing the Champions League, take Spurs forward? Because I think, me and Andy have spoke about it, he almost ticked that box by winning the trophy last season, and I thought their Premier League form would have been better this season. Now that's put to bed. Now it's not all about winning the trophy. Now we can kick on in the league again. So I thought maybe he'd earned the right, even though his 17th, as you said, is horrific. He'd earned the right to at least have an opportunity at the start of the season to have a go this season.
Agreed. But I do understand that, you know, to get another manager and let him work with a team, you know, because let's just say they kept with Ange, and after 6 games the performance was there, they get rid of him. It's very hard for another manager to come in and take the reins, and they've got to wait another year. So I can see why Spurs have done it. But what was fans always wanted, they want trophies. They want to win. And, you know, nowadays you get promoted, you get under pressure, you win trophies, you get the sack. So it's just tough.
What do you think the aims will be for Thomas Frank? It looks like he's going to be their new manager.
Well, the way it's going on, they've got to be finishing top 4. Otherwise, he's going to be in trouble. If he doesn't finish top 4, if he doesn't win a trophy, well then, how come Ange got the sack if he doesn't? So I think he's an unbelievable coach. I think he's done so well at Brentford, but it's a tough gig.
Just a quick word before I let you go, because you in that Leeds team, along with unbelievable players, Mark Viduka. I mean, the list is endless, right? From the goalkeeper to Rio Ferdinand, of course, a great Leeds player. You must have enjoyed your time there. I think you got to the last 4 of the Champions League, right?
Yeah, semi-finals. Yeah.
You must have enjoyed your time at Leeds United. It must have just been like a fairy tale there.
Well, you know what it was? It was because that's where I first obviously started, and I always thank Leeds for this, because it kind of turned me from a young boy into a man, because living up north it's tough, and they have a very strong mentality, so training every day was tough. Like I say, if there wasn't a fight at least once a week, it just wasn't normal. That's how it came into training. Everyone wanted to win. Everyone wanted to put their bodies on the line to get into that squad, because rightly so, we had a great squad. I mean, I think when you talked about that, we had myself, Viduka, Robbie Keane, Michael Bridges, Robbie Fowler, and Alan Smith. That was like 6. That was like 6 strikers. So let's just say 2 of us were playing, 2 would be on the bench, 2 would miss out. So you were like wanting to kill out there on the pitch, and that's what it was. It was fantastic. I loved it. it made me who I was.
You've been fantastic. I've got good news and bad news. The good news is our time is done. The bad news...
Sure? You sure about that? Are you sure?
You go back
Are you sure?
It's up to you. You can stay for another 2 hours if you want. By my way, you would. You've been an absolute superstar. What an honour to properly meet you and have a chat. Thank you so much for coming on to Drive on talkSPORT.
Thank you very much.
And good luck.
Cheers. Bye.
Going out there.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I bet you are. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
The wonderful Harry Kewell. What a superstar he is.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.